Alright guys, TouchGrabbit here, back again today. I wanted to discuss CTF versus Domination mainly in today's video. Of course, several weeks ago now, probably a couple of months ago even, we got the first rule set announced for the CDL. Of course, we're going to be seeing Search and Destroy, Hardpoint, and Domination was announced as the third mode, which, really riled a lot of people up the wrong way. We haven't seen Domination as a competitive mode since Call of Duty Ghosts. Wasn't particularly well liked then. Then we also had Blitz as well. At least we have Hardpoint in this game, but still, with the spawns in the current state, it's not exactly the best mode. Hopefully those things will, Infinity Ward will look into those in the coming weeks. Maybe as a result of this player summit, hopefully they got some good feedback there. The real question is Domination as a mode going to be changed? Because in the past, we've seen, Search and Destroy, Hardpoint have been the two kind of staple modes since Ghosts, really. And then the third mode has switched out a fair bit. We've had Uplink come in, we've had CTF come in as well. And, there's definitely been some conversation between the two. In Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare, for example, we actually had 4 modes. So the series would go Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, Capture the Flag, Uplink. It was Uplink third mode, then Capture the Flag fourth mode, then Search and Destroy map 5. It did that for a little bit. I think Advanced Warfare maybe dropped CTF eventually from the rotation, but in Black Ops 3, the entire season it was run on 4 different modes. So this season, is Domination going to stay? I don't think a lot of people like it from the competitive side of things. I don't think it plays particularly well. The spawns are pretty atrocious. Would Capture the Flag, CTF, be a better mode? We've seen it more in the past. Who knows? And the pros have started to scrim it, so maybe that's a conversation they're having behind the scenes. So like, if you guys enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you are new as always. And yeah, so let's go through this. Yesterday we did talk about Censor and other pros doing this I love Modern Warfare thumbs up tweet, and some interesting replies. As I said in yesterday's video, it's pretty clear that this was like a coordinated gag between the pros, but there was a video that came out from Blame Truth saying Activision is forcing pros to say they love Modern Warfare, and let's just have a look at some of the replies. Chino, that's a complete lie in the video. We're all out together and wanted to tweet something at the same time. Jacob says, I'm being forced. And yeah, so Blame Truth, I think he's just trying to rile people up here. But this is what Zero has to say about it. Why would Activision force us all to tweet the exact same tweet? We were in a Mexican restaurant and thought we would laugh at people's responses to all of our tweets. Again, trash the game in a tweet collectively and I'll make a video eating crow. Egg says, I went to the exact same meeting, so did Damon Karma. We'll have a look at his tweet in a second. You're just a moron grasping at straws over this, move on. Blame Truth apparently thinks he's won this argument somehow. But anyway, they're referring to this thread that I went through yesterday. So a lot of pros tweeting out, I love Modern Warfare, thumbs up. Now, of course, this is a sarcastic remark, really, given the fact that Modern Warfare isn't in the best state right now. But also maybe a slight dig at the community in a way, that thinking that Activision is gonna, put the brakes on all of the Twitter conversation that the pros are having right now. I do think that'll happen at some point, but obviously hasn't happened yet. So yeah, this is what the pros are talking about now. Damon Karma, the reason why I actually put him on the thumbnail of yesterday's video is because he did this tweet. A lot of changes need to happen for me to love Modern Warfare. He did this tweet at the same time that the other pros were doing their I love Modern Warfare thumbs up tweet. So of course, with Karma saying this, clearly means that it's not exactly as clear cut as a lot of people are thinking it is, in terms of Activision cracking down in this way. Now, the interesting thing really is, we'll have a look at this tweet. Jesus, I don't know why these aren't loading today. Is this tweet from David Mickner? Some people never learn. Now, really, it's difficult to determine exactly what the context is here. A lot of people are suggesting that it may be related to these tweets because, of course, David Mickner and Joe Seacott and these other guys have talked about in the past how the pros are not exactly using the correct channels, that they're taking digs at the developers and at the game through Twitter, and he didn't particularly like that. He would prefer players to go through the official channels, even though Aches at the time said, what exactly are these official channels? I think Jacob even wasn't sure, like, what exactly am I meant to do? Egg said, we have technically, we can speak to someone who will then apparently pass that on to the developers, but it's not an official channel by any means, which, who knows whether that's what David Mickner's talking about. He could just be making an out there statement. But Jacob then replies, you would really think people would learn from their mistakes. And I wonder exactly what the direction is going in this tweet. A lot of people are looking at David Mickner thinking here, like, what are you tweeting about, mate? Because I was pretty sure he was also involved in the development of Call of Duty Ghost and Modern Warfare. There's so many issues with the game, and people are looking at him saying, you know, some people will never learn. Isn't that a bit ironic given your history, I guess, and, you know, the issues that the game has had now that don't seem to be wanted to be resolved by the developer team. And I can understand that perspective. I know there's a lot of frustration in the community right now surrounding the game and its state of competitive, and maybe it's not even particularly enjoyable to watch or anything. I can't say I've watched a Twitch stream of someone playing Modern Warfare in a very long time, and I've moved on to playing other games myself, to be honest, and the game's only been out like you know, coming up on 2 months. It's pretty tragic, but other people are having different experiences, and I understand that. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to read into David Minkner's tweet here. You guys may have some thoughts in the comment section below. Wanted to run this past you guys. You guys may well be aware of Kevy Skills, really legendary name in the scene. His Twitter account's blown up lately, but he pretty much is a moderator in like every single professional player's chat you'll ever find on Twitch. He's from the UK, but you wouldn't have thought so because his sleep schedule is basically like an NA sleep schedule because he stays up all night to watch the streams and yeah, moderate them, I guess. And yeah, I think he's been streaming a little bit as well lately. And it looks like he's actually signed a contract somewhere, whether to be a streamer or exactly what's going on. Really don't know what to read in this. People are saying like, congrats and all of this stuff. Now, I don't exactly know congrats in terms of what this actual contract is. If you guys have any thoughts, leave them down below for sure. Wanted to go through this as well then before we get into the CTF versus Domination stuff. Just another one of these things that people love to just jump and bandwagon on. So, skill-based matchmaking messes with your accuracy. This is crazy. You'd be surprised how dirty this patent actually is by Activision. Now, a lot of the patents that Activision file are not necessarily related to multiplayer. So, you know, some people have looked at this and immediately thought, oh my god, skill-based matchmaking. No, I'm not saying skill-based matchmaking is good. I think it's awful. I think it's an awful idea. It doesn't make the game enjoyable for public matches. But there was a rumor going around that if you were a high-skilled player, your accuracy would decrease or some of your shots would you know, not register and these kind of things. Now, I think this individual is probably jumping on the bandwagon a bit there. So this is the patent, and it says, you know, different parameters of gameplay. For example, in the first-person shooter gaming environment, when the first player aims a weapon at a target, a parameter defining the tolerance for how accurate the player's aim must be to hit the target is modified based on the acquired skill level of the player. So a player having a higher skill level will be assigned to a lower tolerance parameter and therefore will have to be more accurate in aiming in order to hit the target. A player having lower skill level being assigned a higher tolerance parameter and therefore could be less accurate in aiming in order to hit the target. So that seems pretty mental, right? But when we actually look into it, it seems like this is only the case in, you know, AI matches in like campaign and these kind of things. It doesn't affect the multiplayer experience. So this individual says, lots of studies show it's more enjoyable for people to play against opponents who have a similar skill level. I mean, I'm not exactly going to go into that. But basically, how do you scale the AI for a co-op group setting where you've got a skilled player and a non-skilled player? Most standard methods have a single AI difficulty setting, and I can understand how it's very difficult to have different difficulty settings for different skills of players. So the way to go instead is to make it easier for lower skilled players to hit the target, which I understand that. This type of research is not for modifying other player in an adversarial setting, e.g. player versus player PvP. It's for scaling AI systems against a player in a co-op setting. I have absolutely no doubt this doesn't have anything to do with CoD. A lot of the authors on the patent worked in previous games that were acquired by Activision. So it may not even have anything to do with CoD, and if it does, it's probably got nothing to do with multiplayer. So, yeah, just if you guys had seen that floating around, take it with a very large pinch of salt. So let's talk about Capture the Flag real quick then. Could we see it replacing Domination? Note that Bance is playing on the starting roster instead of Lucky. I do think the Toronto team is switching around what's going on, but they're definitely streaming Capture the Flag. And let's go through this tweet thread here. So Simp says, just played my first CTF and it's absolutely terrible, and yes, I played Gunrunner. This was about a week and a bit ago. People were talking a lot about, oh, Gunrunner is the good CTF map. Bristini says you've lost it, play better, play it more, get better, and you'll like it more. Sim says you guys use what rules to convert? Okay, he's going on about spawns aren't going to get touched, so once the flag is out, it's chalked. Sound Hall Camp Fest, which in Dom you can at least go around and get both homes to make sure the other team to do something. You literally just move up the map in CTF, complete snooze fest. And this was the issue when I talked about it originally, how, okay, you get the flag, you can close the door behind you, the maps are designed in such a way that you can camp really far back in your spawn. It's tough to understand, and, you know, he talks about uplink was goatee on with it, but, like, what maps are actually going to work for CTF apart from Gunrunner? I can't really think of any other ones that would work apart from maybe, like, Crash or one of the new ones. If they add some other modes, I can see CTF working, but I can't really see another map that CTF is actually going to work on. You need a more traditional 3-lane style map for CTF to work, so you can appropriately block spawns and do this kind of thing. Maybe it's still better than Domination, though, who knows? But you've got to have an actual map set, I think, for CTF. You can't just play Gunrunner every single series, kind of like what we saw in World War II days, where people would just ban Flak Tower and London Dock. Sometimes it would just be Arden Forest, like every single map, every single series, and it'd probably be the same thing if CTF was in the game for Gunrunner. Whether that's still better than Domination in its current state, though, is definitely up for debate, and I'll be interested to hear your thoughts down below. Personally, I'm not convinced that CTF is better. I think if you can prove to me that there's at least 3 maps that CTF is going to be solid on, then fair enough. But I guess at the same time, Domination doesn't have 3 maps that it's solid on because it's just a game mode that doesn't play particularly well in this game. However, I guess with Domination, because he's played a lot in public matches, there should be a lot of data that the developers can look into to help improve the spawns. CTF, maybe it's less likely that they'll be able to do that, but some people say the spawns work quite well on Gunrunner CTF, but maybe that's just in comparison to the rest of the game. Is that the correct decision to take? Leave your thoughts down below. As for now, I'm not fully convinced that CTF would actually be an entertaining mode, or would it even be more competitively viable than Domination, as much as I dislike Domination. So yeah, just some final thoughts before we finish the video. The challenges, the 2K series are going on. I'll talk about the results of this tomorrow. But we did get a result from the APAC 2K. So Setzy, Swifty, Pred Fighter, and SS Jazzy won the 2K over there. And the grand finals of the EU. So it's Dave's team. I think they're in the finals again. Maybe they've been in the finals the last 3 weeks or something. Moose, Denza, Vortex, PT, and Dave against Luty, Hixie, Disarray, Iviano, and Swinny. And yeah, the North American one. So these are the semi-finals. We've got Parasite, Ferro, Spark, Spacely, and Prolu. We talked about FaZe being dropped from that team versus the UYU team, and then Aspire Esport versus this other squad. The bracket is linked here if you guys down below would like to go check it out. I'll leave it down in the description box as always. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit the like button if you did enjoy the video. It really does help out with YouTube algorithm. If a lot of people are liking the video, then YouTube thinks, damn, this video is kicking off, and it'll promote it to more and more people, and that's beneficial to all of us, I think. So yeah, that would be greatly appreciated as always. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.
One's walking in green. That's him. One's to your right still.
I think one's half one.
Popping open before.
You got this. Your nade's about to get a kill. You have that talent.
Oh
you have that talent. This is usually the sniper. They're usually the sniper.
Yeah, he probably picked up a gun.
Your left.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was disgusting.
Oh my god. Was it
1v4. 1v4.